You know, that announcement they just made was federal dollars.
For what, the rail trail?
Yeah, talk to Jeff about it, because he was happy that it was federal money.
Yeah, but what have we spent so far? That's what I want to know.
Oh, okay.
On our own.
That I don't have.
That's what, I'm gonna reach out
I'm
to.
meeting with
All right, we're ready.
Are we
to
gonna
go.
review this?
Yeah, we'll go over that tonight.
I wanna
That's,
ask you a question.
that was one of the things I wanted to talk to everybody about. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen, August 25th, 2014. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Everybody signed the warrant. We're good there. I'm going to just move forward because we have the Cultural Council in looking for a one-day liquor license for the concert at American Legion Park on September 7th at 5 p.m. So if you guys want to come up real quick. Nice to see you. How the concert's been going, all right?
They've been great this year.
Yeah,
They
you
really were a
generally
lot of
had
fun.
good weather to hit them, so
Yeah, except for the one that's September 7th because of the rain
got
date.
rained out, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so we had originally gotten a one-day permit for the 20th,
Okay.
and Newburyport Brewing, he forgot
Yeah, I heard
to
he
show up.
didn't show
Yeah,
up.
it was a little aggravating, so we're going to try to get him
They're gonna
for
come back again?
the 7th. I figure he kind of owes us, so
All right, well, you know, you
hopefully.
pull in the favor, right? Good, okay, so, gentlemen, any questions? Any issues? We'll entertain a motion.
Chair, I move that we approve the Cultural Council request for a one-day liquor license for the concert at American Legion Park on September 7th at 5 p.m.
All right,
Second?
all those, any discussion?
What was the date again?
September 7th,
Oh, right. All paperwork is in line, Mr. Chairman?
always in line.
Yes.
These guys have their act together.
And submitted.
Thank you for that.
Thanks.
And thanks for doing
Thank
those.
you all for coming.
This is the one I'm gonna be able to get to.
That's the one I'm probably gonna be able to make too.
That'd be good. It's a good
Been a
day.
rough summer for me,
one.
so.
Yes, you were.
I was there for one.
I sent the family down. I didn't make the last one. They were down having a picnic, but. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, it's unanimous. You guys back in business?
Great, thank you very much.
See you on the
very much.
7th.
All right, hope so.
Thanks.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have Stu's gonna have a caravan to pick us all up so we all get there.
There you go.
It's called a bicycle. A six-way bike.
Thank you.
Go for two.
Thanks.
See you later. Oh, man. Minutes. Let's hit the minutes. Actually, you know what? We'll do that later. We'll get all that stuff done. Jim, you want to come out and tell us what's going on? Jim Demento from the Park and Rec. We have an easement for 186 East Main Street, which is the, if people would recognize that as the skate park and all that good
Yes,
stuff.
so we've finished with the planning board. We've gone through the planning board now with the Conservation Commission. One of the conditions of the planning board was to have, we'll be working in church property and potentially United Foam property as we're building this. So it's basically just work easements allow us to work in their side, and they both agree to it. It's just as construction happens. We are going to work in the church. There was a thought that we may not work in United Foam, but we figured, you know, if there's
Get
a
them both
rock,
done.
gotta move a rock or something, and then, you know, you don't wanna have to stop the project to get something small done, so.
Okay. Question, is in here under 2, it says location, description of work, it says necessary, da-da-da, carry out construction of an access drive and permeable paving sidewalk. I thought the sidewalk got nixed, is that correct?
The sidewalk got nixed,
Okay.
that's correct.
All right.
Well, the sidewalk got mixed from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill.
Okay.
It starts at the top of the hill.
Okay, so we could leave it in as is, Mike? Because originally it was gonna go down along the foam side, and that's what got nixed.
We're still doing,
The upper.
Sidewalk, I don't think any of it's gonna be permeable, but it is gonna be a sidewalk.
Okay.
I mean,
can Howard expand on that? It was the planning board that made
Yeah, excuse me, yeah.
the determination.
So the lower sidewalk, the planning board did not approve, correct? It was just the upper sidewalk.
And that was gonna be
In the approval process, they removed the sidewalk from the parking area of the church down to
The street.
Main Street.
Yeah, okay.
But it still remains from
The top.
approximately the parking area back, all the way back to the parking area.
Okay,
But it's not gonna be permeable?
It's not gonna be permeable. Does the water-
Permeable pavement or?
Right, the
Yeah.
permeable pavement for the water calculations going down the hill, remember? 'Cause of
That's
the-
what we were planning on.
That's right, so. it
Because in
was-
this, it says permeable, but I mean, is it critical if we say permeable or not on this?
They could hold you to it,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so we would strike permeable on it?
But this is a temporary easement, right?
Yes, just
Okay.
working.
So can we strike that, or should we strike it? I mean, we could strike it and
Initial.
sign it.
They
if you
would
want it
have
signed
to,
tonight.
they would have to
Initially.
initial it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be stricken because it's just a temporary easement to
Right.
get access onto adjoining property.
Yeah,
You're just describing it,
kind of the work we were planning at the time.
it's the scope of the work.
Okay, I mean, if everybody's good with it, you know, I don't know if you have any issues with it, but,
No,
As written.
I don't, I
okay.
don't know.
Do we have the original here to be signed tonight?
Yeah, copies of the original, yeah, looks like it.
Well, I've got copies, but I don't have an original. I figured they want a signature tonight. Okay.
And that's just for you to sign, right, not all of us, right?
Yeah, so gents, any questions from the board for Jimmy or Howard?
No,
Mr.
happy-
Chairman?
Happy to see it moving forward.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
finally.
too.
Really, you
Yeah.
guys, I gotta tell you, I mean, you guys went through hell and back on this thing, so.
We're not done yet, we still. have-
No, I know, but, I mean, it's been a long process and
One
it's,
thing I learned about this process, when
long
you're done,
overdue.
you're not done.
I know, but, you know,
Paving
I
on the
just
sidewalk.
send a message to your board members and tell them thank you, and I know it was incredibly frustrating. I was, really at the end of my rope with this whole project, and I know you guys were. And the planning board, you know, thanks to you guys too for finally getting it, you know, approved and through. And it's gonna be a great addition to the town and you know, the ball fields that you guys are gonna put in down there. We have so much pressure right now on that stuff that,
Oh, huge amount, and it's gonna be a
it's gonna be
perfect,
fantastic addition, you
it'll
know?
be a pony field, so the mush ball will be able to go over there, the softball, you know, so it's gonna be a good sized field too.
Good.
I mean, I had to hit the ball further
Little,
than.
little league field is, your little league field's like 200, it's 250, and
Oh, come on, I can't even have a 200.
oh, well,
Killing me.
you have to play second base then, so the only second
Mr.
baseman's
Chairman, I
only
make a
home run.
motion to authorize the chairman of the board of the selectmen to sign the New Life Community Church easement and the UFP technology easement as presented.
Second,
Any further discussion?
well, the second one's asking for Mike Farrell's signature.
Okay.
Is it? Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that was the,
that the original?
first one, and
Okay.
that's, we don't have a signed, UFP.
So do we just wanna go with the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, I would give him authorization to sign both.
Yeah, I
Just
I
have him,
think,
I'll just sign
cross
both.
off Mike Farrell and put
Put my
chairman of the
name
board
on
of
it.
selectmen.
Yeah,
that way it's
but.
done and they have it and then they can sign it. Unless you want them to sign first. Would you rather them sign first?
No, it doesn't matter who signs,
Okay.
first or second.
I know it's Simon, we like everything tenant signed first and then we go, but, okay, if you wanna do that, so. All right, any further discussion?
Yeah, just to say, I'm also pleased that this is moving forward. I
Yeah,
know that,
it's been-
you know,
Yeah, it's
I
been
had spoke to some
real long.
people on the Parks and Rec and wanted to make sure that this thing
No,
goes
I
forward.
appreciate everybody, a lot of people have come through and helped at certain times to
Yeah.
resolve issues, and that's been huge.
Very good.
You guys done all the heavy lifting, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
really,
Yeah.
it's a great project,
I
so.
really want to see this thing.
If I had,
Done.
if it hadn't passed the planning board, I probably would've found me in a closet somewhere, hanging around my neck.
Babbling.
It's been a lot of years, we started this in 2007.
We would've been dialing 911.
Last, I think, well, I want to say, when I was chairman, you said, yeah, it's going to be done by November.
What was that?
By
Oh,
Thanksgiving, 3 years ago.
I know, I've gotten get gray, I've gotten gray over this project. We started this in 2007 with the original thought of
Right.
buying the land and stuff, so
Yeah,
it's been longer than I expected, but
way a long time coming, so.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Well, appreciate it. So, any further discussion, gents? No? All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
aye,
All right.
Great job, Jim.
Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Howard, did you have anything for us tonight?
Just the final work for the Board of Selectmen on the street acceptance of Harmony Lane.
Okay, come on up while you're here. I don't want to keep you still.
You recall that the Board of Selectmen did a order of taking on Harmony Lane.
Yep.
It was accepted by the voters of Georgetown at annual town meeting. After annual town meeting, there's 120 days of which the final paperwork needs to be completed. And the paperwork that's being requested that you sign is, so when this street is accepted, the easements are accepted as well that the town will need. And it's in particular to the drainage easement that's at the end of Harmony Lane at the corner with Central.
Okay. So all this is in order. Right? So we will be good to go. Are there any discussion? Any questions for Howard while he's here?
Howard, we've done so many easements, I just can't, I was trying to look back on my notes, but we had no problem with the perpetual easement for the drainage. There was no issue with the residents in the town, right?
No, the residents are being informed. I'm in contact with them so they understand. There's 4, each resident on Harmony Lane needs to be noticed, and I've gone and I've talked to 3 out of the 4 I've had contact with. 2 have signed. I'm just waiting for the other ones to come back, so there isn't any
You
conflict.
do like notice posting, mailing?
No, I've driven down
Oh, okay.
the football field from town hall and,
Okay.
and gone and knocked on doors.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so do we sign that tonight? And then you're good to notify them?
Yeah, if you sign tonight, I just need the 2 further waivers, and then it needs to get recorded at the registry.
Okay. All right,
And
fine.
you actually need to sign it tonight because the 120 days is
The
September
timeline's
2nd.
light, yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the order of, approve the order of taking for easement as presented, for Harmony Lane, street acceptance plan located in Georgetown, as presented.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, that passes.
Okay,
Do you have the, oh, it's coming around.
that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, and again, thank your board for, getting our new park finally approved and on its way.
All right, I'll pass it
We
on
really
this
appreciate it. I know it was a lot of work and people really thought it through a lot, so we appreciate the eyes on it. And it wasn't without frustration, but, that's what the boards and everything are designed to do.
Responsibility.
Exactly. So, much appreciated. All right, that one. All right, next order, let's go through the minutes. We have minutes, entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 9, 2014 as presented.
Mr. Chair, is that for the general meeting? Because we have a few meetings.
That was when we had the school committee in
Yeah,
to
so there
fill
were,
the failure to elect.
so there were,
Gary, myself, Mr. Smith, everybody was here. That's A. That's the first one, June 9.
right.
So
Mike,
moved.
Oh, yes.
Any discussion?
No need a second.
Pizza is ready.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
On page 9, I'd called Janet today to ask her to check, but she's got it down as for the harbor master that it was approved by unanimous vote, and I believe I was a nay on both of those.
What else
Yeah,
are
just-
Mr. Smith?
I don't know if anyone else here remembers.
I cut and pasted, didn't
I,
I remember that.
Yeah, I know you were a no on
Yeah,
that. Which
so,
one was that? Oh, Harbor Master, okay.
yeah, I think it's
Done
the
that.
second and the third from the bottom.
Yep.
Just to,
You're right.
and just, if we were voting on it tonight, I would have voted yea. I had talked with Chief Cudmore on it.
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't
Okay.
have enough.
Yeah, I know, you hadn't
information.
talked to him at that point.
We could take a revote if you wanted to.
Is that okay? All right,
We
so-
did think we need to look into it a little more, as to the
Okay.
harbor master, whether we wanna keep it as a police or perhaps under the control of the Board of Selectmen and.
All right.
But,
Um,
that's for another date.
So, why don't we vote, we voted as presented, so we could vote it down?
Are there any other changes before we,
Were there any others?
I don't know.
Okay. So all those in favor? All those opposed?
Well,
Well, hold on.
Hold on.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that we amend the minutes for 6/9/14 strike out the unanimous vote
Okay,
and replace with 4-1
That would be it, yeah.
for both the harbor master and the assistant harbor master.
okay,
Okay, I'll second the amendment.
all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Now, on the original, you never got a second, so.
Oh, I didn't get a second? Okay, great, all right,
So
so,
we haven't done anything yet.
so we'll
I
entertain.
second your original motion.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. All right, how about entertain a motion for July 23rd?
For the meeting minutes, so moved.
Any, I need a second.
Just give me 1 second, because I read these on my iPad, and now I'm looking at them here. I gotta stop going back and forth. What date are we on?
Excuse me, that was the 23rd, and that was B, listed as B in there, and that was
I'll
Phil,
second.
Gary,
Oh, it's right in
myself.
front of me.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion or any changes? I didn't see anything that I had changes on when I looked through it earlier today. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain. I was not present.
Chair, I move that we approve the meeting minutes for July 7th, 2014.
I'll second.
All right,
Seven-
any discussion?
7/7/14.
Yep.
Yep.
All present.
That was 7/7.
It's me.
Okay, that was it. That's not me beeping. All right, any further discussion? Any changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, point of order on that. We have to revisit the weights and measures because it's been, the expiration term is September 30, so that's coming up, will be coming up pretty quick.
It's
Okay.
on our next agenda.
It's on the next one?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thanks for the reminder. All right, we got
Sorry,
four approvals on that? Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
also, yeah,
Thank you, gentlemen.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes for the July 24th, 2014 meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain, I was not there.
That's the shortest meeting on record.
Hey, Gary, less than 3 minutes.
Was it 3 minutes? I
Was
don't
it?
think it was
What
that
was the-
long.
what was the-
1 minute.
That's what I heard. I thought it was less than a minute.
I move that we
6:01.
approve
There we go.
the meeting minutes for August 4th, 2014, as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Any changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Next on our agenda posting method change. Mike, you want to elaborate?
Yes, this ties into item number 7 on the volunteer email policy.
Okay.
In your packet, though, under number 2, you have these are the Attorney General's regulations for open meetings. And if you turn to page 4, there's a highlighted area, and it's the regulations specific to local public bodies. Currently, our method of noticing meetings is personally hand them into the
Clerk, right?
town clerk. She stamps them and then puts them on the bulletin board outside. Since we adopted this regulation, there were changes in the overall regulation. And the Attorney General has determined that there are alternative methods which would actually more effectively notice the public. And what I'm suggesting tonight is that we adopt number 1, public bodies may post meetings of notice on the municipal website.
In addition to posting it outside?
Well, it's not required, it's one or the other.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. You can do one or.
They're not.
Right.
I had a discussion with the town clerk and the assistant town clerk, and it's their feeling it should be one or the other. They don't want to do both.
So how would it get posted on the website? Would the clerk's office do it?
Yes, by receipt of email.
By receipt of email.
From the chair of those particular boards?
Yes, and that's why I'm bringing forward a volunteer email policy. We have now the capability to extend email to all elected and appointed officials in the town. We've,
Been arguing for that for 7 years.
well, you
We
say-
finally got it, Phil.
You say
Somebody
the
was-
word tonight, we'll start.
I wasn't leaving the board until I got email for everybody. So, well, that's great.
Now you're all done?
So,
Okay.
so, that would make sure, well, number one, by having the email, the official town email, we will now be in compliance with the, regulation that we have to keep
The public
all
email.
all town-related business emails.
Right.
Right now, when people are using their personal email, we only get one half of it.
Right.
And technically, it is a public document, and the person or volunteer or elected official would be required to turn over that email if there was a request for documents. This will make it, we'll be in compliance, because we'll capture both ends of the conversations now.
So, I just have one concern. I'd like to see us do both. But you're saying the clerk's office would post them on the municipal website.
That is correct.
And then, I'm just concerned that a lot of people are used to, wandering up and looking at the board, before the meetings or whatever. Would we be able to get at least a printout of those from the website that we can at least post on that board, and then on that board put a notice that says they're all being posted on the website now?
Yes, we could. There's no, but when I spoke with the clerks today, they were very,
Yeah, I don't want to duplicate.
strongly against
Okay.
doing both. And I told them I would relay their feelings. I asked the town clerk, I asked Jen if she wanted to come to the meeting, but she had a previous appointment and couldn't make it tonight. It was short notice on my part, though.
Go ahead, Phil.
No, I was just gonna ask, so can, we have the town calendar, and we have all the meetings on the town calendar. Can that, if that link is the agenda, can't they just put it there, right?
They will.
That's where it's gonna go.
That's where
That's exactly, they'll go on the front page of the website,
So then they-
and it'll see the meeting. You click on the meeting, and the
agenda will be
agenda will appear.
So then all we would be asking for then is for them to print that one page out and put it on the beginning of every week or every 3 days, to put it out on the board out front. Which is a lot easier than doing one-offs.
Is the concern duplication, or is the concern which one is the legal notice?
No, they just felt it would
Duplication, I
be,
think.
it would be an extra step that they're not now doing.
Well, one thought is, I'm in favor of just talking about it, is going on the website, because a lot of the board members have trouble getting down here in time to hand in their actual agenda, get it stamped, time stamped, and everything like that. So the email thing is going to make it a lot easier for the board members and the chairman of the board, chair people of the board. And then my only concern is that, worst case, Janet, print out the agendas and throw them down there, and just put a big notice that these are all being posted, on the website now. But initially, maybe we can even not put it up there and just put a big sign, all the agendas and meetings are being posted on the website now. If we go that route.
My only concern with that is, what if the email goes down? now, meetings aren't gonna, well, do they have a policy that if you can't get it in by email, you can walk it in?
Well, we'd have to, yes.
You'd have to
You
set,
could always still bring it in. I mean, then they just have to scan it in, they can scan it,
And
that
still
they would
post
have
it,
the possibility.
because they're still gonna have to scan it anyway when they post
I
it.
have trouble getting on the email in this building as it is. No.
Yeah, but this is from people being from home or
I
work or
understand.
whatever, sending
Yeah.
out their agendas.
Hopefully their new email address. So I, I like a compromise where we're not requiring to put every agenda out there. And I can't imagine there's that many people that are gonna come to town hall, see the calendar of events and need an agenda. But could they come up to you, Janet, and just say, can you print out an agenda for me? I mean,
Yeah, we don't have many people coming in
I can
asking
imagine
one
it's
to
very
be
few
printed
people.
out. I mean, it's just people coming to,
right.
view it out on the
I think Tim will do a
outside.
great job mentioning this when we figure out what we're doing. And where people can see it. Because right now, it's only posted down there, and then if you know enough of, you can go and look and see what the meetings are. But within the meeting agendas, or the meeting links now on the calendar, the agendas are not posted at this point.
No.
So I just
Some of
think,
the boards post the agenda separately on
yeah,
their own pages.
I just think
like
that
Selectmen
this is a
does.
better, more, streamlined way for agendas to get out there in that 48-hour notice, because the 48-hour notice was originally for people to be able to come up and see what's going on in the old days on horse and buggy, and then be able to attend a meeting and whatever. This one is even more relevant because people will see what the postings are. They'll be able to actually see the agenda, and more people are going to have access to it than fewer. Gary, you had a thought?
Well, just to let you know, I'm the horse and buggy guy.
I know.
I
stand out there and read them before I go up.
I stand out there, I read them, that's how I see them. If the duplication they see as a problem, why can't the boards and committees that would be emailing it just post it? Okay?
That'll never
And then
happen.
we would still be legally doing it that way. I understand the streamline effect.
Yeah.
I don't really, I wish, maybe we should put it off till Jan's here. I don't quite understand the big part of the duplication process. I mean, you're going down there and you're doing it now. Yes, it is an extra step, I guess, to have to do it by email. I don't know how large of an extra step that is for her. I'd like to ask that, but,
Well, she has to print and scan it anyway, so when
No.
she doesn't? No?
Not if they send it in a Word doc, they can cut and paste right to, it's just Control C, Control V.
And they would just put it up there?
And there's a form, and they just copy and paste into the form.
Okay.
Yeah,
And they
or
would
if
do
if
that.
it is sent in a PDF, we went through they can just attach it.
Right.
Where you'd open it up, you'd just see a PDF, and you'd just click on the PDF, and it would open the
And
agenda.
if it's a Word doc, is it gonna attach, or is it just gonna drop in the text of what the agenda
It
is?
just drop in the text, so
Okay.
when you open the page,
Okay.
you'd see the meeting, who's meeting,
I've
Board of
just-
Selectmen, the
The reason
date,
I'm
the
advocating
room,
for this
and-
is because I just get a ton of feedback from just people around that they're always like, I just never know when meetings are and agendas are, and then I go to the meeting calendar, on the website in the town, but I can't see the agenda. And I'm like, yeah, you gotta walk your ass down to town hall physically and read the thing. And I go, it's crazy. So I think this would get it out to more people much more quickly, a much better streamlined system so people can see and hear what's going on the agendas versus not knowing. I mean, they know when the meeting is if they go to the website, but they can't read the agenda.
No, and not all
Wildly
boards post their
frustrating.
agendas.
Right, and then you go to that meeting or that board site, and they may or may not have their agenda posted for that
Right,
next
the
meeting.
larger boards do.
More
A lot
often
of the
than not,
small
they don't
boards
have them posted.
access, so.
Another question?
Yes.
Well, on the next page, from where Mike had started, okay, at section A, it says the municipal clerk or other person designated by agreement with the municipal clerk shall post a notice. Do we use this now? Okay.
That's
so
me.
That's you. It's not the assistant down there.
She can post, the
Okay.
town clerk and
So,
the assistant town clerk post, and I am the
The
backup.
Okay.
But it's only the backup supposedly if they're,
But this
like, if
seems,
they're out sick or something.
But this
People
seems to
still are supposed
indicate-
come during the town clerk's regular office hours, so.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be additional,
but see, under
when they're on
2,
vacation, I
with
So
2A, it seems to indicate that they have to do A, and then an alternative could be any of the Bs. Anything under B. Still sounds like they have to do A the way this thing reads.
May.
Shall post notice. It says shall in the first line. So I don't think they have a choice. I think they have to post, and then the alternatives are these other things that we do. Because in that first line of A, it says municipal clerk or other person designated by agreement with the municipal clerk shall post. It's not a may, it's a shall. So, I don't know.
Such notice is not conspicuously visible to the public during hours when a clerk office
Sounds like they
is
have to do
closed.
both.
Such notice shall also be made available through an alternative method prescribed or approved, which is below.
Which
Right,
is
so
B.
also, so they have to still,
They have to do-
still have to post
They
it.
have to do one, they
No,
have to
it
post
says
it.
if such notice is not visible to the public during hours,
Mhm.
such notice shall be made, shall also be made available.
By
The
B,
also is
right.
there.
So,
I don't think you have a choice. I
they,
think
they have to post as we're posting, and then we go to B1, which is municipal website. So it's a shall, not a may or.
Yeah, and it says, even underneath that, it says a descriptive of such alternative method sufficient to allow members of the public to obtain notice through such method shall be posted in a manner conspicuously visible to the public at all hours on or adjacent to the main and handicapped accessible entrances to the municipal building. I don't think we have a choice. I think you have to do at least that, what we're doing now. And in addition to that, you may also do the other. That's how I read it.
Unless I read this wrong also, it doesn't say anywhere where the town clerk can receive it via email. That's my concern, is that for some reason, I think I've sent my agenda in and posting for a meeting, and somehow it goes to a spam folder somewhere, or it doesn't make its way through and gets bounced. I don't see it. Now it's Friday, my meeting's not posted, and we're being less efficient. That's my problem. I don't see where it says in here that you're allowed to email in the request.
Well, people do email them now.
Do they?
I mean, that's-
Okay.
I mean,
So-
even
and
I
that
get
hasn't been a
my
problem?
email and-
I email all.
and I bring them down.
That's my only concern
Yeah.
with the whole
Well,
thing.
all the more reason to have the official town email. There should be no spam issues with that.
Right.
Right, if it's going back and
Going
forth.
right to our own
Our own inboxes.
exchange.
Well, spam's
server.
gonna look at who it's coming from, and if it's any,
Well, it
any
could pick
type
up
of.
spam if it was going to one of your town
I see what you're saying, it's
emails.
town
and
to
it was,
town.
and it
Okay.
was my personal email.
Right.
There's even more reason for spam
Right.
issues than what we're talking about is everybody will be a
Right, I got it,
georgetown.gov
I got it, yep,
email
yep,
address.
yep, I got it.
But at the same time, it would be the posting entity's responsibility to make sure it
It's
shows
received.
up.
Yeah, that is received.
And, I mean, they can get a opened, email was
Mhm.
opened
Alert.
receipt.
Yep,
Yeah,
Yep.
read receipt.
Not delivered, but read receipt.
yep, yep.
But at the same time, it would have to still be within their time
The
hours.
48 hours.
No, within the hours of their office being open.
Right.
When they send it.
When they,
Or when-
yes,
yeah, yeah.
it would have to be sent, like, some days they're out of there at 1:30.
Right.
So if it comes in at
2,
1:32.
Well, they know that. They know that they're same thing.
No,
when
they
they're
don't,
walking it
because
down.
they always end up, when they walk into the clerk's office in the middle of the afternoon and it's closed, then they come up to see Janet.
Oh, and then you're the alternative that stamps it
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, which
post.
we discourage.
What if
because
we have
want
'em-
People to come when the clerk's office is open, so that it's.
We have to make the town clerk's offices, hours, as part of the policy.
Mhm.
Here's when you have to submit them by,
Okay.
to have it posted in time of 48 hours.
And I would hope that if they're closing at 1:30, we don't put the time at 1:30. We would want not someone sending it in at 1:29 and saying, I got it there on time, when,
Right.
you've shut down.
So, yeah, so the language in this, Mike, just does not appear that we have an either or.
It's ambiguous.
Because under
Because
B.
B says it says for local public bodies, the Attorney General has determined pursuant to MJL, et cetera, that the following alternative methods will provide more effective notice. That's not allowing us to supersede A. That's
Correct.
just allowing us to,
Do alternative methods outside of A.
You wanna double check on that one?
That's the
'Cause
way I read
I
it.
mean,
That's
too.
how I read it.
I
is
prefer
A.
to have at least an option to consider, but I don't think we even do here.
I think it's A plus anything on B 1 through 5.
I think
That's how I read
doing
it.
both is the best method.
Of course.
That's,
But it
They
clearly
had
states,
strong reservations.
but it clearly states in A that it's a shall, so that has to happen, then if we choose to do any of the alternatives, then that's the other option. And from a constituency communication point of view, doing B1, which means putting it on the municipal website, is gonna be a lot more eyes and more visible than doing what we do now. Because 1/100th of 1% of this population runs down here to see what's on the board. It's Gary, the only guy doing that.
So, my gut tells me they're gonna, the response is, that's great, we're completely busy already, and you're asking me to do something, in addition to what I'm doing already. And the question's gonna be is, how do we get them to do that if they are so crazy busy? And, they're gonna, if I were them, I'd say, yeah, put an extra half hour open my office for another half hour every week, I'll make sure that gets done. So we're gonna have to have that discussion, I'm sure.
Jan has been lobbying for additional hours
Yep.
for every budget cycle
Mhm.
that I've been here.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how much time and effort it's gonna take to do that. But
What's your-
let's assume there's 20 meetings a week. 20 there's probably
that
not,
many.
there's 10 meetings
There's
a week.
5, 6.
Even if it takes 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to do each one, that's another 30 to 45 minutes worth of work. That's all for every week. So I'm not saying
But
that we.
doesn't she have an assistant as well as her in
Well,
the office?
there was a major misconception when I discussed with this. They felt this would be additional hours of work.
No.
And I explained to them, and then Janet went down to talk to them and assuage their fears that it wasn't extra hours, it's extra minutes.
Yep.
It's, I mean, they're already going in and putting in, the meeting time, which board is meeting, so you're already typing all that in.
They're already in
So
the
it's
website.
only,
Yeah,
so
but
you
they
only
don't-
have one more step is to cut and paste in.
Or
But they may
Adelaide.
not have the agenda by then, right? Or do they have to have the agenda in order to put that posted on the calendar?
Well, right now, that would have to be decided. Right now, they do put them up on the calendar ahead of time.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
that's fine, they can go back and attach it when they get the agenda.
right, then you just
But-
have to open it up and cut and paste.
But some boards will, to reserve a room, put it 6, 9, 12 months in advance.
Yep.
I think it should be per meeting, not per,
I mean 6 now.
they reserve the room long before
oh.
they have any agendas.
Like us,
Yeah.
Right.
we have Monday nights.
Right.
Yeah, I
Right,
would,
and
I
I
mean,
give them a
there should be a
schedule.
I don't think there's any
within-
issues there.
You should have an agenda 2 weeks in advance with some flexibility. And we just have to have a policy that says, your agenda has to be in 2 weeks prior to that meeting, or the meeting doesn't get posted. I mean, I don't know, sometimes there's gonna be exceptions, got that, but especially for the ones that are scheduled.
I mean,
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
2
ours, we
weeks.
do it on Thursday before the meeting.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
it's
most of them
changing
are up
right
against
up
the
until
48
then.
hours.
Yeah,
Most of them are up against the 48 hours.
Yeah, but, I mean,
I mean, it's a few days, because that's, our agenda closes.
or whatever, okay, whatever that
at
time,
noon on
you guys know
Thursday. Yeah.
you know how,
All right.
what that lead time needs to be, what's acceptable and what's real.
So we're not voting on this tonight. Any further discussion, because then we
I-
can revisit it on the next one, and
If I guess you
Mike
just,
can get some clarity on shall and is and was.
well, and one more question, and that is the problem the posting, receivership, or both? Now,
All
Jan
the
had said
above.
that they do receive them by email now.
Yeah, they do
Okay,
get somebody.
so it doesn't sound like receiving them is either or is the problem, it was
They
posting.
don't like to receive them by email.
Oh, they don't like to receive, well, perhaps
Because
we'd like
they-
them to come and know
it
why,
could
I
come-
guess.
Well, it can come after they're closed, and it will sit, somebody will think they got it to them
That's my point.
48 hours in
Okay.
advance, and they don't
That's my
open it
point.
till the next
Yeah.
morning.
So
We
that,
don't want to slow production down, if you know what I mean.
Right,
Meetings
but the
getting moved because-
chairperson would have walked in to have the agenda done, knowing that the place closed at 1:30 if they had to walk it in here.
I understand that, but they may send it 9 o'clock in the morning, and because of a server somewhere, it may not come in until
Well, again,
quarter or 2.
They can see the red receipt right on it, you know, if you click, if you enable that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you could send an email at 9 AM, it may not get delivered to here.
Well, I could drive down here, get a flat tire, and miss the
Right.
damn meeting.
yes, it could.
I-
I mean,
I
I
think
could
it's-
get run over by Gary's carriage and horse. I mean, you know.
I think it's
Yeah.
a moot point for the moment. I have a feeling that we're gonna have to continue to do it the way we're doing, and then, if we do that, we've complied.
Mhm.
And then if we do anything above and beyond that, that's just
And
a
it's just
service to the taxpayers who are
Constituent
paying
service.
paying
Absolutely.
our volunteer salaries.
Can
Zero.
you set it up for Janet to be here next time?
Yes.
And just get some clarity, if you need to, from the AG's office on that. I think it's definitely A, and then, or one, and then the others are just alternative methods, obvious. But I'd like to see it get posted, and we find a way to get that done, and if, maybe one of the, if we're finding that, you know, the clerk's office, for some reason, doesn't have time to do both, then, we, maybe look to the cable committee and see if some of their people that are working here can pop them in, you know, if you email them up to them or something.
Well, they have to be officially posted by the town clerk.
Oh, they do, okay, so the
Yeah,
clerk's office
stamped
has to
in.
do it, gotcha.
Yeah, they have to officially
Okay.
go through the town clerk.
Okay, all right. All right, thanks, gents. Next item.
Well, while we're talking about it, do you wanna
The
talk
email,
about the email
Sure.
policy?
which was what, 7, I think? right?
This was borrowed directly from the DOR's policy. They recommend towns to utilize when they do their financial reviews. It's a lot more, it's beefier than the one we currently have for employees. But then this, the definition of employee includes volunteers.
Yep. Trainees, interns.
So I know it may seem like a pain in the rear end to have another email address. But I can assure you that, you know, for us volunteers, who, if we ever have to be asked to retrieve all of our emails, the embarrassment that we have to go through with our employer, that we're using our company's email address for volunteer town official business, isn't pretty cool. Nor if they have to go through the hassle of go to a service provider to go and get all those emails is a lot of extra effort.
If I may, it actually says, I think they can impound a computer if they want, you know, so.
Even better.
That's why when I came on the board, I didn't do email, because I didn't have it at home. I said, yeah, you could
Yeah.
go to the library, or the church library had one, but they could go and pound the church's computer if they want to. so.
Legal drafted this?
No, DOR.
Oh, this is the DOR one, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, what are the, I guess the consequences of not complying with email with the state if we have, are there any personal fines that can be levied? I'm just trying to make sure I understand what happens if they have a town email address and they don't choose to use it.
I don't know the answer to that.
Can you find out for me? Because I want to, if it's nothing, that's fine too. But if it is, I think people should be aware of that. All right, you're not in compliance. And it may not be just a fine, it may be a warning, and then we kick you off the board if you're not compliant.
All right. Any discussion? Anyone? Thoughts?
Well, just to what Phil just said, though, I mean, that, if somebody didn't have email, you could be now buying them from serving.
I don't know anyone on earth other than you that doesn't have email.
That's only if you
And my
use-
daughter,
Yeah.
Well,
and my son.
the only reason I have it is because I'm on this board.
I know. My grandmother even had email, and she was 96.
So I don't think, I mean, if you're not gonna use it, that's fine too. I
It-
don't think
you
you're
know,
gonna be bound by this.
let me go, it's not just use, for some people, it comes down to economics, and can they afford to have it in the house? Not everybody can afford it, and then if you can't, then how do you access it? Yeah, perhaps you come here and you can access it once a week, or you go to the library, but that's not always that easy. And I know, I'm just speaking for the few, but there are those few.
So it's not so much that we are making anyone use email?
Well,
If
with
they-
the statement that you said earlier, that, well, if they don't have it or use it, they could be they would be kicked off the
If they're
board.
using their own personal email address for
Okay.
town official
Okay,
business.
I
If
just
they're not
wanna-
using any email address, then they don't have to worry about this.
Okay.
Right, because you don't even, I mean, half the board members may not even be using their personal
Like I said,
email or
we
work
wanna be sure
email.
we're understanding.
Yeah.
the-
This is just so that anybody that's on a board has an email address. If they use it or not, that's up to them. But at least everybody that's serving has one, and now we're in compliance. Whereas right now, anybody that's using their personal email, if there was some action, they're gonna go and have to pull up off of Yahoo or whatever, get a court order to
Yes,
pull
bring it
all their
back.
personal emails, and the point is, does anybody serving wanna be in that position? I don't think so. So this avoids that position, because everything will be stored on this server for the town.
I understand all of that, I just wanted to be sure with some of the statements that I'm hearing, is, I mean, and Phil did have concerns, and which, you know, I'm glad he did, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure that the concerns don't go so far that it.
So, do we want to take a vote on this tonight, or do you guys want to wait for next time?
I think Phil had some questions he wanted answered.
Yeah, I just wanna know, what teeth do we have, that's all.
Okay, so we'll,
Because
next agenda, we'll move forward and
I'd
just
like-
double check.
I'd like to, if we're gonna adopt this, I'd like to know, the teeth behind this, and if we're not in compliant as a community, what's the big?
What's the
issue,
risk?
Let alone as an individual.
Right.
That'd be cool.
All right. Thank you, gents. Fall town meeting, possible meeting dates, Monday the 20th of October or the 27th. Anybody got issues with any dates yet? I gotta look and see. I don't think I have any that far out at this point, but,
Both dates were good for the town clerk and the town moderator.
okay.
So why don't we go with the 27th, which gives us that much more time?
I can't believe it's gonna be talking October already here.
I'll ask my usual question, do we need one?
I believe so.
Wasn't
The-
much-
The one issue we had discussed here
It's May 27th.
has to do with the GAA donation.
Mm-hmm.
The school did consult with their legal counsel, and they agreed with town's legal counsel that the current agreement is unenforceable and in violation of 30B. It needs to be bid, and it needs to be approved by town meeting vote if it's a lease.
Oh, okay.
And the GAA does not want to do a license because it can be terminated at will.
So that mean they can't start construction?
No, they're starting construction.
But it's already been bid out?
Yes, it was bid.
Okay.
The construction was bid, not the use. We have to make a posting to allow the public equal access to, basically, you know, they have to say, well, okay, I'll pay for the replacement carpet. 'Cause that was the quid pro quo for the use. But
So
if
the-
somebody else wanted to use the field and outbid them, then technically, you know, we can put
Yeah.
things
Could do
in the bid document. We can't make it exclusively,
2GA.
you know, to make them the only viable bidder. We can't say you have to be well, I don't know if you can, legal is drawing that document up, the bid, the posting scope, bidding scope. You know, whether we can say, I know we can say preference given to Georgetown organizations. I don't know if we can say only Georgetown organizations can bid. I don't think it can be that exclusive, but
But what we signed last time,
was a donation.
that was the
agreement.
donation agreement only. Okay, good. Bond council's okay with it, the way it was
Yes.
written? Because we
Yes.
thought we might have an issue on that.
They
Okay.
did not have an issue.
Okay, so we're gonna go for a lease or a license for the GAA agreement?
License.
We're going for a lease that's gonna go to town meeting
Yeah.
this fall. Okay.
And the plan would be to go out to bid, use the month of September to bid it, so we'll have a bid in hand.
Who do we put bids out to? Any organization that wants to throw their hat in?
No, well, you
Publicize.
post it on the central register with the state.
Oh,
So
okay.
anybody that would look on the central, and we have to put,
For use of it?
yes.
Okay.
And we have to put it in a local newspaper notice 2 weeks before the bid is due.
Question,
Sure.
you sure you don't want this meeting in November? You think we can pull all of this together? I mean, I've seen how slowly some of these things seem to
True.
move, and.
No, it's,
And-
Point, Gary. Seriously.
no, it's
Think
definitely
I-
doable.
You guys can make
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Gee, and they're on board with this, you've been in discussion with them, and,
Carol has been, I have.
okay.
Can you just check with Carol, so we're connecting the dots?
When's the
Just to
election?
make sure.
Primary and the generals in
The 12th or?
Poll
November.
workers, let me see. We have the,
I think we got the
approval
poll
of
workers.
poll
yeah.
workers in here. so-
Yeah. Isn't the
September
election?
9, Tuesday, September 9.
Is the primary?
Yeah, but then
And
you've
then the
got,
general's in November.
the general is what, is it the
Right, it's the
11th?
beginning of November.
Second
Um,
Tuesday of the
Yeah, so it should be the 11th of November then.
No, I think it's the weekend before.
first
I
The
mean,
Tuesday.
4th? It's the
I think
first
the first
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Oh, it is?
Tuesday.
Because I think that was Jan said she didn't want town meeting in November because she had
Okay.
an election.
Oh, all right.
in the beginning.
All right, so I entertain a motion to set fall town meeting for October 27th.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, gents.
Where are we?
All right, we have to open the warrant for our fall town meeting. So I would entertain a motion to open the fall town meeting warrant.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. We have a request from the town planner to surplus 2 plotters. These are the big plotters that they replaced, I believe. Looking for the notice. So it was HP Design Jet and OCE 7055 E&N copier,
One they were trading in,
which was the HP 510 they traded in.
yes, and the
Original
other.
value
they
of
were-
$29.50. And then the copier is 14 years old, fair condition, it's obsolete, and it was donated to the town.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the declaration of surplus personal property as stated.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 We have a request from the fire chief to surplus the ambulance chassis in a 2005 Ford Expedition. The Ford Expedition is a 2005 four-wheel drive, poor to fair condition, original value is $16,000. Has 3 seating positions, no AM/FM radio. The 2000 Ford F-450 chassis, this was from the ambulance, correct?
Yes.
That we are replacing. Poor, it's not in service, the original value is $32,000. That's the one that we've replaced when we did the new chassis for the new box. Or just the new chassis with the old box, rather.
Any value on these pieces of equipment?
We're going to put the Ford Expedition on the
The site,
online.
that auction site or whatever it is.
Auction.
Yep.
By the time they get done with the chassis, it's
Chassis is gonna be scrap metal at that point. Because they basically are gonna torch the thing right off the
Yes.
bus, you know what I mean? Okay.
And if it doesn't sell, we'll put a, some kind of, you know, limit below which we won't accept.
Mhm.
And the fire chief would like to use it as a demo for his new Jaws of Life.
Mhm.
But I think we should see if we can.
See if we can sell it and get
a couple
anything back.
$1,000s
Before we
first.
blow it up?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I agree.
Chair, I move that we approve the declaration of surplus personal property from the fire department as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a question on the value where, on the one before, it's, you know, dated, it was donated on the copier.
Yep.
As was this, so I mean, is that the proper way to be putting it down? Cause I believe they were a donation.
What was donated?
I thought the ambulances were.
No.
No, they were purchased.
Yeah, but they were donated through from the central
They
fire
were-
department.
Yeah, but they were,
The
Yeah, but the
association.
town didn't purchase them, so that, I guess that's, is it just, is it listed the correct way? I mean,
Oh.
it's only asking for the value, I guess,
Yeah,
it's not,
Yeah, it's not
but
asking
where
for it,
they
got it.
put it down as donated on the one before,
oh, yeah,
I wasn't sure how it should be listed.
under the value, I see what you mean.
Well, there's still town properties,
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you know, in town.
yeah. I just didn't wanna mess up any books somewhere down the line.
Any issues, Mike?
No, I don't see any.
Okay.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, gentlemen. Just want to let everybody know, Camp Dennison will do its annual open house Saturday, September 20th, and that will be from 11:30 to 3:30. That's the one that,
Cooked hot dogs?
yeah, that we cooked the hot dogs. If you gentlemen want to get in touch with Jim Lacy or let me know, and I'll let him know.
Use my grilling skills and.
Yeah, you know.
What was the date of that?
That's
still?
September 20th, 11:30 to 3:30. It's always a big day. A lot of people come out and bring the kids and family and get out and about and have a great day. And we've always had a blast there. The Board of Selectmen cook all the hot dogs, and it's free hot dogs and all that good stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, my calendar
The
now.
date on that again, where is it?
The 20th
Of
September. Sorry,
October, sorry.
looking at my calendar here.
Yeah, they wanted you to check them.
So just let me know, gents, okay? Just want to let everybody in town know that's what's going on there. Old business, Mike, food truck regulations. Want to give us a quick update on that one?
The food truck committee met and went over the different aspects of it, vis-a-vis the different departments and what they felt was important and what was unimportant. The Board of Health does have control over them for health reasons, so, but the fire department needs to certify that if there's any cooking implements in there, that they're safe. The building department, the one thing we were concerned about was supplanting the bricks and mortar stores. So the original language said 50 feet away, and we don't think, 50 feet is very far.
I thought we had it originally 150 feet in our first
No,
round, no?
50, because I was looking at
It was 50.
It was 50?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
50.
For some
So-
reason, I had 150.
I asked Howard to use the GIS system.
To
and
plot it.
I gave him all the, from all the addresses of every common victualler license that we issue. And he plotted 100-foot circumference around each building. Actually, around each parcel, because some of the buildings would be set back. And I haven't brought that back to the committee yet. The downtown area, it does cover
Everything.
a lot of area. There wouldn't be a whole lot of parking available at 100 feet.
Let's see what it looks
We
like.
have to designate certain areas in town that it's legal, but we also felt, the exclusivity, we wouldn't want to have it exclusively to one location, and basically first come, first serve. Whoever gets there gets to use it, and there's
Yeah.
no guarantee
Yeah.
that they're gonna use it the next time they're there. That was the gist of the conversation, anyway.
Okay. All right.
So we're.
Good, so we're making good progress on that.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, any questions? Yeah, none? Good. All right, personnel handbook update?
Legal counsel is doing a minimal list approach. They're just looking for glaring errors, legal errors, or glaring omissions. I put it on the agenda because I thought they'd be done, but I haven't gotten the draft back from them yet.
Okay,
I'm sure I'll have it for the next meeting.
okay. Great, thanks for getting that done. Under Selectmen's report, the fall Board of Selectmen schedule looks like October 6, 20, November 3, 17, December 1 and 15. So just make note of that. Was there anything further on the financial review from the DOR that you wanted to talk about tonight, Mike? I know we need to kind of revisit that a little bit.
No, we just keep that on the agenda.
Okay, I just
and
didn't know if you had
in
any
front of
updates
everybody.
on that. We already did the volunteer email policy, so bring us up to date on fiscal year 14 and 15 budget update.
We actually were rolling the budget tomorrow on the munis. So this is a timely report, although this is not absolutely final. There are some things that are subject to.
All departments popping it into Munis this year, except the school?
No, not
Not
Not yet. But this is a recap of as of June 30th. We, these negative numbers in the balance, that means it's more than we budgeted.
Yeah, that's where the
So-
overage, like the 119%.
Right, so the total general fund surplus is 447,474.
Okay.
Two of the, and I think I pointed this out in an email, I copied you all with, the real estate and personal property taxes. We had a 99% collection rate. That's just
That's unheard of.
outstanding,
Yeah.
yeah. And even more so, almost more so, motor vehicles and other excise taxes, we exceeded the estimate by 200,000.
I think a lot of people
Dollars.
bought new vehicles because they finally broke down after 10 years.
Well, in my
I'm chasing
20-something years of
I gotta remake
municipal management, I've learned that the car registration figures are,
Squishy?
no, I think it's an excellent
Barometer?
early economic indicator.
Yeah.
And this has been up the last 3 years in a row.
Mm.
So I think, people are feeling more confident they can at least buy a new car.
I think it got more necessity than. The average car is now 10 years old.
That's true, too.
So I think it's more necessity. I wouldn't say there's much confidence because I ain't seen a lot of confidence out there in the marketplace.
Mhm.
But
But this
your
is,
point.
this
I
is
get
an
it.
early indicator. They're,
I just think people are replacing vehicles like
That-
I did. 'Cause it
that's-
wouldn't drive anymore.
I gotta replace my wife's vehicle in this next month, too.
Yeah, when the
so-
wheels fall off, that's
Yeah.
when you're like, okay, I have to get a new car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
I would hope it's an early indicator of some recovery, but I'm very skeptical about any recovery happening in the next 5 years.
So we have a surplus in revenue, $447,000. Then you want to go look at the end of the year budget figures. And on page 2, under general fund appropriations, we had unspent $166,414. These are the two.
These are the givebacks?
Yes, these are
Okay.
the two figures that result in our free cash.
Right.
So when you add those two together, we're looking at about $600,000 in free cash.
Okay. Better than we thought we'd be.
A lot better.
Yeah, we thought we'd be like 100, maybe.
I was hoping
You were
for
thinking
3,
for, yeah, but
2 to 3.
it wasn't looking good though.
That hasn't been certified yet, right?
No, and it will be beginning of September.
Well, that's good. It gives us a little breathing room.
So we finished off the year, in
Well, I
in
appreciate
really
all the,
good shape.
we all do appreciate the boards and the departments and everybody just runs their departments very fiscally, responsibly and conservative and to see, 166,000 that was budgeted coming back, that's what, 1.5% of the total budget coming back that wasn't spent. That says a lot about how your department heads are running your departments. So, being one of the town taxpayers, I certainly appreciate it, and I know our board members do, and our taxpayers here in town. So, thank you. That's good. That's good news, Mike. That's better than I thought we were looking at.
Right.
Like, there's one line item here that's interesting, it's the council on aging expense. They budgeted 26,000 and they've only spent 15,000. There's about a $12,000 delta.
Yeah, and I haven't been able,
Seasonal?
I haven't talked to
Oh, it's
Colleen
seasonal.
about that. I don't know why that was such a wide delta.
She
She's
probably
usually-
forgot we raised
She's
her
usually
this year.
very frugal, and I hope it wasn't out of frugality that she didn't
Yeah,
use the money she
She may
was
have
given.
forgotten
Spent
too that we,
56% of the
beefed it up.
budget, and I know at work I get in a lot of trouble if I spend 56%.
we're not getting her in trouble, but anyway.
No.
Talk to her and see, because if I recall, excuse me, we increased her budget last year.
For
This year.
Additional
Was it
work
this year or
program.
last year?
hours.
Additional work program too, wasn't it?
We added some work off, yep.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
yes, but
yes.
that came out of the assessors.
This is office.
Oh, that's not in hers?
No, there was $5,000 added to the overlay.
Okay,
That's how we fund that.
okay. Great.
And I'd just like to bring you up to date on the FY15 budget. When all the smoke cleared in Boston at the state legislature, we found ourselves in a deficit position for the budget. This is the budget summary sheets of the says FY 14 on the top, but it's FY 15. And the first page is the one that was approved at town meeting, and you can see excess levy, 0 at the bottom. If you look at page 2, excess levy minus 38,556.
You know, for a budget this size though, Mike, that's not too bad.
It turned out,
Okay,
we came away okay.
yeah.
But not without some additional work. You'll see our revenue sources, we ended up $15,039 less than we had put in the budget. And I have a copy of the cherry sheet too here. But we'll stay on this. It shows you where the cherry sheet shows you where we had additional charges and some additional revenue. We actually, from the state, had additional revenue of $4,810. That was over the governor's original proposal. The legislature gave us $4,800 more, but they also took $32,000 more away
fees?
from us in charges.
For
They had-
land?
they-
State land?
Well, that was the biggest subtraction.
What are they charging us for in state land?
Well, they
Mowing?
just didn't, no, they just didn't give us as much money as they gave us in the past. That's netted out of the revenues, the state-owned land. It's supposed to represent payment in lieu of taxes.
Right.
So, last year, we received, where's the figure? It was $175,000, and this year we got $125,000. So we were $50,000 in the hole in that respect. But,
So what was the percentage increase in all state aid year over year?
it was less than 1%.
It was minimal, yeah.
So
It was
that's-
it was a rounding error, quite honestly.
Just for us,
Yeah.
it was less than 1%.
Yeah,
So the state got about a 5% increase, and we got less.
and
than
we got less than 1%.
Right.
Yeah, go talk to the governor. Guess where all that money's going? Free cell phones and welfare.
So we received 15 grand less in revenue, and we had 23,000 net more in expenses, which netted out to that's how we got the 38,556.
Yep.
How we were able to make that deficit up, we had estimated $105,000 in new growth, and the assessor's office, Jay in particular, spent the entire summer turning over rocks, as he calls it, looking for additional values. And he reviewed every single assessor's card and was able to pick up an additional, well, we're going to end up with about 135,000 in new growth. And that doesn't count, he hasn't added up the personal property tax, which last year was about 20,000. So we're actually going to end up with an excess capacity, excess levy, which is good.
Mike, real quick, if you would, I'm trying to reconcile the other form that you gave us that showed us where we were ahead by the 333,000. So, to this sheet you just gave us, if I look at the budget for 2014, the third column on the sheet you gave us, total revenue of 24,430. See that at the bottom?
Yes.
Shouldn't I see that 24,430 on the other sheet you gave us as of June 30th, 2014?
Well, that one's fiscal year 13. That's fiscal year 13, it's saying on it.
Not
No,
necessarily.
it
No.
isn't. This is fiscal 14.
No,
This
right
is
here.
fiscal 14.
Right here. Are you looking at that one? This here?
No, I'm looking right here.
Am I looking at the wrong
Projected
page?
revenue right here is.
Oh, I'm on the other column.
This is for 2014, so isn't
Gotcha.
that?
That is just that, it's projected revenue.
Oh, all right, so this isn't the budget.
Right.
Projected, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. So we budgeted for 2014, total revenues of 24,430,850.
Mhm.
But yet, it looks like we're gonna receive 25,888,873. Do I have that right?
Which, you're on the.
You gave me, you gave us this, right? This is the sheet you gave us that we saw that
Yeah, as of June
333,000.
30th.
447.
Do you know that 447,474?
Yeah.
All right, so if I just take a quick look at that, and it says, received to date, 23,904,559. That's as of June 30th, 2014. Right? The second column, 23,904,559 in bold. And then
Line
below it is,
17.
then below it's 24,313,901. Right?
Mhm.
I'm not looking at the same columns you are.
First page.
You have to be on, line 24.
Yep, that's exactly where I am.
Okay.
24,313,901 is what we've received to date. That was for the year ending June 30th, 2014.
I have 23,757,058.
Yeah, because you're received same period 13. I don't care about 13. I want to go back one. See what it says
Received
received.
to date. Okay, yeah.
That's 2000, that's as of June 30th, 2014. We collected 24,313,901.
Yes.
We budgeted 24,430,850.
I thought
Go back to your other sheet.
I thought it was 23,866,427 was what was. the
No, that's
projected.
what's projected. That's not what was budgeted.
Right. That-
So my question is, look at the sheet, this other sheet you gave us, right?
Yes.
It says 24,430,850.
That's just, that was our estimate at the time of town meeting.
Okay, but that's the
Not
budget.
actual. Yes,
That's the budget.
yes.
So if we have a budget of 24,430 and we collected 24,313, right?
We're under.
We're under, not over.
Yeah,
Okay. So how are we gonna have free cash if we're under?
because the 24,430
Yep.
was an estimate at town meeting time. It had nothing to do with the actual ending figure.
Okay. All right.
Just like, yeah, that's my only explanation for that. It was an estimate, they're not actuals.
But the actual receipt to date is 24,313.
Yes,
Okay. And we're comparing that to a
The
projection.
mm-hmm,
Okay. I mean, the bottom line is this. You take that 24,313 and you look at the last column and see what we actually expended, and the difference between the two, right, is what we'll have left over. It's not we're not necessarily gonna have, although that would go to free cash, but do we overspend or no? We're gonna be okay?
no, we didn't overspend.
All right.
We underspent by 166,000.
Is this budget summary line item here, is this the actual budget for 2014?
No.
This is the projected budget.
Yes.
What is the?
That was the approved budget at town
It
meeting.
was the 24,430. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So we're actually gonna collect 25,320, I'm sorry, 25, when it's all said and done, 25,888,873, if you're gonna compare apples to apples, because the 24,430 includes the water in general, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so in actuality, we're gonna collect 24,430, we're actually gonna collect 25,888,873. Okay? So we're actually gonna collect a lot more than what we actually budgeted.
Yes.
That's our 559.40.
Because I just don't, if this is, to me, this sheet you gave us, the first sheet says projected and received to date. I don't know what you're projecting, if received to date is is the actuals as of June 30th, 2014, what's the projection for?
That's what the DOR allows us to use when setting the tax rate.
Okay, got it, okay,
Because if you notice, some of these don't have projections in them.
right,
Tax titles redeemed, we're not allowed to project that.
Right,
Even
okay.
though, we know we're gonna have $50,000-$70,000.
right,
Yeah.
makes sense.
We
Okay.
can't estimate with any certainty miscellaneous receipts. We put a token amount in there at $10,000. We collected 90.
Well, that's the
7,000.
big difference.
Yeah.
So we collected, that's, because I don't want to confuse people. I'm an accountant and I'm confused. The bottom line is, for the period ending June 30th, 2014, we collected $25,888,873. Is that an actual? It says received to date.
Yes.
Okay, so we got $25,888,873 in hand, collected.
But that's not all general fund.
Right, it's not all general fund, because 1,574,000 was from the, what we call it, 1,575,000 was from the water department.
Yes.
Okay, and we spent, you go down to the last page, right, including the water, look at the last page. We spent, just gotta get the right column, second column, right? So, or is that different? Let's see, Mike. Total appropriation, that's the number we have to look at. Oh, no, amount expended, right? So the amount expended column, and we spent $25,320,523. Right? Yeah, and that gives us about 25,320 less, compared to 25,888. There's your 500, a little over $600,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm happy. It is confusing.
It is.
Yeah. But just to let everybody know, we collected $25,888,873, and our original estimate was, our original budget was only $24,430,850. We did very well in comparison to what we had originally budgeted. And we spent $25,320, we originally budgeted $24,474.
But did that include the water, Dave?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that included water, right, Mike?
Yes.
This page that you gave me for the budget include the water department
Yeah, and the school.
and the school. I don't see water though, Mike, on this one.
Yeah.
This one, the budget summary,
Yeah.
debt service, human rights, so it did not include, so let's back up a
No,
line.
it's there on,
Public,
Public, Public Works and Facilities?
no, it's at the bottom of the next to last page, says water department expenses. After the
No,
school
I'm talking
fund.
about this one here, this.
Yeah.
The water's in there,
Is that in there?
yeah,
In that 24 million?
yes.
Okay. Let me just take a quick look. Public schools, school assessments, public works and facilities, undesignated, human services, culture, debt
Oh, water
service,
department.
insurance.
I see transfer.
On revenue sources.
No,
Is that what you're
revenue
looking for?
sources. No, I was looking for expenses.
Expenses, okay.
Transfer from water department. Is that a netted number?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's
That's
why.
why.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, good. All
Washes
right,
out.
so there's your $500,000. So just to let everybody know that what we collected versus we expended, there's about a $600,000 surplus. And we actually did collect a lot more than what we originally budgeted.
Yes.
More than 600,000, but we spent more than what we originally had forecasted too. Okay, got it. Thanks, sorry,
Not a problem.
just don't wanna confuse
That's
people.
why I wanna,
If you're not confused now,
Have
you'll
it.
never be.
that's why I want
You are now.
to put this out there, so.
Right,
people
right.
Call Dave,
understand.
I'll give you his number
Yeah,
before
I'll
the
help
end of
you,
the night.
I'll work you through it. As long as I know where I'm going with it. Okay.
While we're on the numbers and everybody's confused, Mike, are you done on the budgets and everything?
Yes, I think I've confused everybody.
Do you want guys
Efficiently.
want to go through this capital sheet that Mike put together? I had asked Mike to put together a capital spending, Georgetown capital projects, recent, current, future, just so that we have a good view of it and have an understanding of what we have going on, because obviously we have a lot of capital projects flying all over the place in this town. Not Gary, right there. That
Oh, okay, you passed it out.
More importantly, it's what the taxpayers wanna know where the money's going.
Yep. And you're gonna write an article once we get all this cleared
Yeah,
up?
I'm gonna sum up each project and I'm gonna put an article in the paper, that gives a quick summary of what each project is.
I have a question
That's
on
fine.
two, if we just.
Yeah, just
Quick
yeah.
questions. First one, Pond Street, the 65,000 that we got, that comes from the transportation bond. Do we know how we're gonna collect that? I did talk to Peter Durkee, and we're still confused.
We are.
Okay. Have we followed up at all with Lenny Miro on how to figure out how to get our money? Because it may have to go through either, Peter's
Therein
road
lies the
fund.
confusion, yeah, they're not sure.
How to claim
Okay.
it.
But we are following up and staying on top
Oh,
of
yeah.
it, because we don't wanna lose this funding.
No.
Was it
no.
going up to the regional CIP and all that, or TIP or all that stuff?
No,
or
we heard no.
Not. If it does, then.
It
just,
goes in
you
the
know,
pot.
We'll see
No,
that.
chapter money. It was
Never
supposed
see
to go
this.
to Peter's chapter
90
funds.
money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were unclear. They thought it might even be treated like the grant that happened at the end of this fiscal year
Mhm.
for the additional paving.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was what the first email said.
Okay.
But then.
So I want to make sure we, again, I know we're following up on it, but I want to be kept in the loop so that if I have to, talk with Lenny and see what we can get done.
Well, I had asked Peter to talk with Representative Mira's staff to work that out, the
Okay.
details.
I'll follow up with Peter. And the second one I had was a questioning on the rail trail. We have $3 million, but we say it's CPA funds. And talking with Jeff, I thought that was federal money that we were getting. Is this CPA money we've already spent, plus there's another $3 million, from what I understood, that, talking to Jeff, that was coming from the federal side, and he was happy about that.
I think there's, Mike I think there's over 2 million sitting in the account.
There
that-
is- there
that's
is
designated for that,
at
but it
least
won't
one-
come until I think the others meet their end of the budget, I think. Yeah.
We have,
So
and I'm meeting with
so that's
the,
why, that figure's
with an
probably
auditor
town money.
tomorrow. We have to sit down
Yeah.
and reconcile the CPA funds.
Mhm.
Okay.
And, but there's supposed to be at least 1.9 million in encumbered CPA funds for
The rail trail?
rail trail.
So I want to say this money in addition to this. So Phil, I would follow up with Jeff.
I am, I gotta talk to every committee and department.
That's
member.
probably in excess of 5 to 6 million by the time it's done.
Yeah, but we got funding cut too.
Yeah,
remember?
they had put some out,
They
and then they
originally
pulled it
got-
back.
Merrimack Valley Transit?
Yeah,
I mean,
the state took it back away. 'cause
Yeah, they
wanted-
took
See,
it.
he was federal. I my conversation with Jeff was brief, but I thought he had said, and I'm not quoting him, but thought he had said it was federal money, and he was happy about that, because we were gonna get it,
When was
and
the
it couldn't be taken by
conversation?
another community.
Did you?
My conversation was
Was it recently?
about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was driving by his house, and he was fixing his stairs, and I said, hey, there's a couple $1 million in the button.
I'm gonna,
a little jack.
yeah, I'm gonna have a chance to speak to every project owner on all these different things, and Mike, and I'm gonna.
So Mike, when are you doing that CPA on it?
Well, I'm meeting
Sometime.
with the auditor tomorrow.
Yeah, and then
And
be able to
we'll
look
get
at it,
it
because I
started.
think there's some projects that, never spent money, or, that there may be some,
They're dated and aged.
yeah, there may be some things that
Some
come
of
back.
them go back, to
Years.
2007,
Yeah.
2005.
Right.
They're not really closed out.
Yeah.
Our own town hall painting. It usually what happens was we take a vote whether to take back the money.
Yeah.
That's what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Now, whether that changed with this recent, I don't know.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you look at this list, if you say $3 million from CPA, what's the town's match? Because that's our tax dollars and a state match, so I gotta go deeper on
Yeah, but this is great.
that. No, this
Great
is what I
putting
needed
this
to get
together.
my conversation started, so thank you. Mike.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
it's a lot. I mean, it basically comes down to
Throw in the rehab of the. public
64
safety
million
building,
bucks,
too.
in the
Something.
recent, current, and future, and
Yep.
town matches of 32.9, and
There's some.
other
there's-
funding of 31.9, basically.
The work we've done on the public safety building too should probably be included in this, the new roof, the septic.
Yeah, I didn't go back that far, but it could.
How far back was this
You
going
know,
roughly?
well, the oldest thing on there is the ESCO.
Which is 2 years old, right? 2.5?
Yeah.
When did we do the public
Public
safety?
safety,
Wasn't
it's
that
just the roof
within
was-
2 years ago?
Yeah.
We did the septic?
We just did the septic recently.
Did the septic, that was about 50,000.
Yep. And I would add the
was
roof,
40,000.
yeah, at least. And and you wanna throw in the public safety garage roof, throw that on there too.
That was
All
5
right,
years.
I'm not going under
No, I-
under
I thought-
$50,000 in a project, yeah, but
I thought what you were
5
looking
years ago?
for was
And-
projects that are sitting
Otherwise,
there
we're
going
sitting on this
forward, not
board.
projects that were done.
And I did not include what I considered maintenance,
Mhm.
and that's why the roofs weren't
Weren't
included.
Okay,
necessarily
I
there.
was just,
Okay.
just a
These are
suggestion. that's all.
capital projects that,
Okay.
you know,
Yep.
above and beyond regular maintenance.
Okay.
yeah, if they're done already, completed, I'm not going to include it. If it's something that's in the works that our taxes are going to toward today, then I'm gonna, unless it's obvious here, but this is a very
No, it's a great start.
comprehensive
It's
list.
just good to know. It's good to see it, and
Yep.
there's a lot there. Otherwise, we'd communicate to everybody tonight, but there's a lot there. So we'll follow up with you on that, and Phil will work with Tim and getting an article published
I
on
think what I'll
it.
do is I'll put something just brief in the paper, and then maybe a handout at town meeting, something more comprehensive.
Okay.
And I'll make it available online.
All right. One thing I missed, gents, is under our correspondence was we have a, is it under correspondence?
Yes, it was.
Where'd I have it?
Number 5.
Number 5, thank you. Notice from the town clerk of a board of registrars vacancy. So back in May, I'll read this from the town clerk. Back on the 28th of 14, May 28th of 14, clerk notified the Board of Selectmen that Virginia Adams resigned as one of the Republican members of the Board of Registrars. And as of this date of August 18th, 2014, the Republican Town Committee has not come up with a new member to fill this vacancy. The position needs to be filled as this is a state election year, and the vacancy puts a burden on the remaining 2 members. Mass General Law, Chapter 5115 states the appointment of a member is to be made by the selectmen when a vacancy occurs. See attached. Please look into this and advise. So, I would say to Phil and Mr. Fowler, if you guys can put your ear to the rail, and I'll put the ear to the
I
rail.
will reach out to the Republican Town
Yeah,
Committee.
do you want to follow up
I'm a
with
member, and I'll
Tim and crew?
See if they can come up with a,
Yeah, Janet's talked to them, but they haven't come
Volunteer.
up with anybody, so, would you mind following up?
who did you talk with, Janet?
No, Janet.
Janice,
McCrane.
Janice
I'm sorry,
McCrane.
Janice, not Janet.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Janice
Okay.
McGrain, I'm sorry. She had talked to,
I'll put them in that
Mrs.
packet.
Nintendo.
I had hoped to call today before the meeting.
Yeah.
but,
yeah, if you could follow up with them and just kind of
Yeah.
put a bug in their ear, and then, shake the trees, see if you can come up with any, names
Do
for,
we
for
know how
appointing.
much, is it saying it's putting a burden on, I mean, just so that knowing how much does
Dave.
this involve?
I need a volunteer
Is
job
this,
description.
is this
and
the
just a-
people that are sitting around in the town hall some nights?
Yes.
Yeah, for voter
Registering voters.
registration.
Yeah.
So many
It's usually
days
2-3 hours
before
here and there.
town election or before town meeting, they have
Yeah,
to.
when we like to
And then they're working
extend
the
the
polls.
registration hours, and that's what they
Right,
do.
they'll stay from whenever the clerk's hours end until 8 o'clock
Till
at
8
night.
o'clock.
Now, does this also include some of the new things that we've been doing, like now they're supposed to keep them open longer for the absentee votes and things of that sort, so has there been additional, let's say, burden put on the people that are volunteering because of some of that, do you know?
I don't know yet on that, if that's into effect, if that's.
Because I know that, yeah, there's been some changes recently on
Another discussion.
absentees especially, and,
Right.
yeah.
But they also have to come in when petitions come in, the board of registrars have to sign the petitions, and they have so many signatures,
Right,
so
yeah.
that,
Yeah, they're the
I
ones.
think they get a lot of those.
They're the
when
ones
they
who check, double check the signatures, or,
Right,
or,
Jan
or
checks them and
say,
then
yeah,
they-
okay, these are okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So you talked with Nintendo's about that?
Mm-hmm,
Thank you.
that's where
And then
I'll do
think
what I
of any-
can,
any,
yeah,
you know,
I'm gonna
just
reach
pick
out to
some-
Janice, I just wanna get I need to let people know exactly what they would be getting themselves into if they did volunteer,
Okay.
so they can,
Okay.
They do get paid too when they come to the town hall.
oh, I'm in, I'm gonna just know.
Wait, that could make a difference.
Gary, Christmas is coming up. Think about that proposal I've talked to you about.
Oh, boy.
My daughter's not 18 yet, so
God. Oh, Lord. All right, moving along. We did that, we did that, we did that. Economic development appointments. So, entertain a motion to appoint Ted Cotcamp, James Lacy to expire 6/30 of 16 to the Economic Development Committee.
so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Howard Snyder, Richard Williams, Gary Fowler, J. O'Malley to expire 6/30/15 to the Economic Development.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Quick question.
Yes,
Howard
discussion.
Snyder, a resident, can he serve on that committee as a?
Oh, yeah, I think he's an alternate. Excellent question.
He is an alternate, isn't he?
I think he's a non-voting
Is
member,
Howard?
so you may
We've
wanna
had
do that.
non-residents.
Yeah,
On
we-
it?
He's
We have?
been on
Okay.
that
But,
committee.
but I don't think he does take part in the process in that. I think he's more there as the town planner.
Mhm.
'Cause that would give you what?
He's been on it, though, the past couple of years.
I think
Anyway.
to make a quorum.
Yeah.
Well, when we're there, we usually don't use them to make a quorum. I think
Okay.
1, 2,
1,
3,
2.
4, 5.
Is he
Yeah,
on
see,
there
that
as
gives
a-
us the 5 without him.
Yeah, he's the.
Is he on there as a
He's like an
non-voting?
advisee.
He is.
kind
I
of
think he's
role.
there as a town planner. He
Yeah.
takes our minutes and that, and so you may wanna put him as a, I mean, we do
Yeah.
consider him a member, but,
Yeah, so
I
I-
don't know how you wanna, it's just like you do with Carol and that on the school, on the Pembroke.
So he's actually not a member of the committee, is he?
He's been appointed before as a member of the
Mhm.
committee. I don't think we ever designated him as non-voting, but, you're right, because I think that, well, we've reduced the members on
Yeah, we
this.
just changed it to 5 recently.
Mhm. All right, do we want to just
Well, Mike, would you?
have him
just-
appointed as
So
a,
it was, I think,
as a
7 before, wasn't it?
non-voting member? Want to do that?
Gary, is that what you think we should do? I'm just my.
That's the way we've been moving along. I mean, we really haven't used Howard to make up a quorum.
Okay.
That was one of the reasons why we asked to drop it down to,
Okay.
So I'm gonna
make it-
amend the motion to appoint, the following to the Economic Development Committee, which is Richard Williams, Gary Fowler, and Jay O'Malley to expire 6/30/15, removing Howard Snyder from that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we'll go back to the
Abstain.
original motion.
Okay, and the original motion,
We had a second?
yep.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 abstain.
And then we want to appoint Howard as a non-voting member.
Correct.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that we appoint Howard Snyder as a non-voting member to the Economic Development Committee with a term to expire 6/30/2015.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you. I'll entertain a motion to appoint Robert Watts, as the alternative Merrimack Valley Planning Commission representative with a term to expire 6/30/15.
Second. Second.
All right, any discussion, gentlemen? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Request from the town clerk to approve the poll workers for the state primary Tuesday, the 9th of September.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to appoint the following list of poll workers for the state primary to be held on Tuesday, September 9th. Carol, I'm gonna hack these names, but Carol Schwannard, Beverly Knapp, Sandra Braun, Kathy Sachs, Alan Hallwell, Susan Clay, Steve Epstein, Jeanette Lang, Pete Zibel, Margaret Anderson, Gloria McGavro, Etta Hallowell, Elaine Hatch, Star Anderson, Margaret Weaver, Joe Young, Kathleen Roach, Pat Listener, Robert Davidson, Norma Lawson, Kristen Tendo, Lawrence Mintz, Robert Kennedy, David Bogdan, John Schultz. Just to let you know, Carol Shinard is Warden Precinct 1, Star Anderson, Ward Precinct 2, and Beverly Knapp is Warden Precinct 3.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I thank you.
Thanks.
Next board meeting, September 8th, 2014, 7 PM here on the third floor.
And what's the next one after that?
That one would be October 6th and 20.
So we're only meeting once in September?
Oh, no, I'm sorry,
September 22nd.
22nd, thank you.
That's what I was looking for, all right, good.
We got everything done here. We have everything done here. We are in good shape. Thank you. Have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your summer. It's quickly waning, and we'll see you on the 22nd.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Good week.